Hey guys, what's up? It's Scott with Everyday Home Repairs, and for a while now I have wanted to install a digital timer switch to automate the lights on my porch and garage. So I bought this Defiant digital timer, and the nice thing about this switch is it can work with both LED, or actually LED, CFL, or incandescent light bulbs. It works if you have one or two switches, like a three-way. And it also comes in white and almond. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'll show you how to swap out this middle switch with the Defiant digital timer. All right, so I'm going to take the faceplate off, and again, use caution in any sort of project when you're dealing with electrical. One part of that is to understand if any of the switches are live by using a voltage tester. So I'm going to go ahead and test all three of these switches, even though only the middle switch is the one that I'll be changing out. Specifically in this case, while I'm doing that, it's because I'm going to jump out and hit the circuit breaker, and there's two different circuits feeding this one. So now I want to check and just make sure everything is not live, and we're ready to start removing the switches from the box. So now that we've confirmed all the power is off to this electrical box, I'm going to remove the rightmost switch just to give me space, so this one's not going to be swapped out, and then the switch in question, which turns on and off the garage lights, and that is that middle light switch. So I'll pull everything out here just to get quite a bit more room to work while we're swapping it out. Okay, we need to identify the location of 4 different wires needed for the Defiant switch to work. The 2 line and load running to the switch, but also this wire nut and the bundle of white wires in this wiring setup, which is the common. Every instance is going to be different, so really take your time and understand the circuits of your house. And then there's one more bundle back here that I'll pull out with the wire nut that has the grounds. All right, so what we'll be taking out is the line and load here from the switch, and then the common and ground. So let's now remove that switch and then also install a ground wire that can be used for this new Defiant switch. So I'm just going to use side cutters and snip off the line and load, even though you can technically remove those, and then I'll just restrip them. While I'm doing that, let's just make clear this is a single pole setup. There is only one switch in this circuit, and that switch connects the hot side, the line, which I'm stripping right now, and you can see comes from the other switch, to the load side. So it connects the line or the hot side to the load side, which is in this case, the garage lights. So that is it. This is not a 3-way switch, which could have 2 different configurations, and it's a little more complex, but the Defiant does have instructions on how to handle that, or you can just look up many other YouTube videos that will help you install the 3-way switch. All right, so next up, I'm just going to take this wire nut off. Because there's so many strands in this box, there's 3 different switches, there's already 4 ground wires in there. I need to up the ante here. I need to get a larger wire nut, and that did not come in the kit. So that's something that I'll include in the description, as well as some additional wire if you need it. For like this instance, I just have about 9-inch long strand of copper that I'm going to use, and then that's going to be able to connect this strand of copper up to and give a ground to the Defiant switch. Now we have that larger wire nut on the grounds, and then that copper strand which is coming out, and that will provide us the run to the Defiant switch. Okay, so the last one we need is this common. So these should be white wires all coming together. Again, I'm going to increase the size of the wire nut so I can get the common lead, which is provided in the Defiant package. So this is a wire that comes with 2 of these small leads. I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to bundle that together with the existing bundle of commons. So we'll pull this together, take your time, and make sure you get a good bite with the wire nut. So this does take quite a bit of effort to make sure those all come together. And then even when you're done and you think you have it, you really want to test out by holding onto the wire nut and then pulling on the wire and make sure the wire does not come out. That ensures that you have a nice secure connection with the rest of the commons. Okay, so for both the ground and the common, really make sure you press those back in to give plenty of room when you're reinstalling your switches. If you don't, it's going to be really hard to align the switches up and to get the screws set into the electrical box. Now we have all 4 of our lines. So we're going to connect them up here, and it's hard to see, but that lower left-hand corner is actually the neutral or the white wire. And then on the other side, you'll have the line in the bottom right. So basically, this is on the left side of the switch, but on the right side of your screen, the hots are on the right side of your screen. So you'll have the load on the top and the line on the bottom. And then there's that white for the neutral. And then again, the ground at the bottom, which will go to the bare copper strand. Now getting into the home stretch, we'll take all 4 of those wires and then connect those up into the switch. So the ground goes on first. The order doesn't matter here. It's up to you. And then I will put the neutral line on. And then again, here is where the line and load, you really want to make sure here in this instance is the load side going to the lights. And then the final one will be the line side providing power to the circuit. Get those all secure and make sure we're good to go. And then I'll just install the faceplate and hit the circuit breaker. So with everything dry fit here, I just want to test out. And it looks like the display is on and manually able to turn on the lights. So we are good to go. And next up, I'm going to show you a simple setup on how to program the light. All right, so we'll start off. You'll need a small pin, or I'm using just that copper strand to reset. So we'll start fresh by pressing and holding the reset and getting a clean sheet of paper to start from. And the first thing in the 2-step programming here is just to set the time. So we'll press and hold the set button till the clock comes up. And then we'll kind of just step through, and it will really work you through all these steps. So you'll just set your current time, and then every time you want to confirm and move on to the next step, you just press the set button. So the year is 2019, the month is November, the 28th day of November, and again, just press that set, locking it in. Daylight savings time, I do want to be on. And then this is setting what region you're in. This is going to help to pull up the default settings for the dawn and dusk time. So I'm in the central region. You can reference the map and the instructions. Dusk is 4:52. I'm good with that. You can adjust these if you want, plus or minus 2 hours. And now we are all set with our time. So the second part of that is now pressing and holding the program. I'm only going to set one program up here, and it's going to be for all the days. You can adjust weekdays versus weekends, single days. I want everything, all 7 days, to be set to the program one on of dusk. So turn on at dusk. All right, and I just set that to lock it in. Then I press program again to set the program one off time. And then I'll set that to dawn. So this is basically my default settings, and it's nothing fancier than that. So we've set the time. We now have programmed it to turn on at dusk and to turn off at dawn, and that's it. So if you guys have any additional questions, go ahead and go down in the comments and let me know. I'll jump in there and try to help you out as much as possible. Remember, check that description and you'll see the link to this specific Defiant digital timer switch, along with the tools and other supplies used in this video. If you like these sort of videos, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to smash that like button if this helped you out. Take care, and we'll see you next time.